Okay, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, and this is week 33, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds rest, 3 times around. I wanted to kind of show off my new discovery, and I don't know if you guys will get to see it, so I'll just turn my computer a little bit this way so that you can see. If we were to go down to the fun coaching song list, and it doesn't matter if you're using our song list or if you're using your own, but what I'd like to do this week with Man Makers, and let me
Man makers.
yeah,
Oh,
Character builders.
character builders.
holy jeepers.
What else do we call them?
Overcomers.
Overcomers, right? Let's see here.
All right.
I know.
Find my. Oh, there it is. Good. All right. Awesome. So this is that from favorite movie Mulan, there it was, right? And
You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet big bull with me.
okay,
Mr. I'll make a man out of you.
okay, so that would be 41 seconds was the time, right? So when I go to get info on this song, if I want all the coaches to have an easy time queuing up for Man Makers, I'll make a man out of you. I go to get info, I go to options, and I now tell that song to start at 41 seconds. So if it starts at 41 seconds, and I could have it end at 45 seconds, right? I mean, it could just be a real quick one, so it doesn't even go into, you know, whatever it says next. I don't know what it does say. But there might even be a better spot in that song that I'll look for where it says, I'll make a man out of you a couple of times, you know. But when I say okay here, now watch what happens when I play this song. Well,
Mr. I'll make a man.
music.
Mr. I'll,
So I think it's a
Mr.
real-
I'll make a man.
Okay, really important discovery there though, because I mean, I only gave it a few seconds. I didn't let it finish. I didn't know where it ended. But I would go back in there and I would program it for the best part of that song. So that now when I've been told over the years that I, on a scale of, you know, poor to great or whatever, that I rate up high at being able to bring in the music on cue, but sometimes other coaches don't. And I don't want to be the only one that does it well. You know, I want to have everybody do it well. So how do we fix that? We fix that by just changing our songs to where we can just have them automatically start where we want them to. So I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention because I think it's a real breakthrough. I will introduce Man Makers this week as Man Makers because it will be fun to play the song, I'll make a man out of you, you know, and everybody will have a good time with that. They'll find it funny. So there it is, Coach to Form. There's a lot going on with a Man Maker. You know, we know that we come down to the push-up and the row and they're keeping their hips square, and then they, you know, hop through it, and then they lunge and press. And so, you know, it's highlighted green. You'll want to start there because people will be confused about how many different steps there are. You know, not your more experienced people, but your relatively new people are all wondering, what do I do here again? And, you know, even though we got videos up on our screen, they want your help. So Power Band Arm Farm, you know, you can play the Arnold track as you're approaching this, or do Ricardo's Arnold impression, him and Sam Jackson. They both got some really good ones. So the Power Band Arm Farm, you're going to challenge the distance, make sure that they're working in an area that's going to help them reach failure. I would suggest that since we have 45 seconds this week, you know, 8 to 12 is that rep range, right? So I know that they said in the video, do a few and then do a few to the other side. There wasn't a specific number. It's a good opportunity for strength training, right? So have them do, you know, 8 reps here or 10 reps here, and then alternate. Kettlebell farmer's carry. Jeremy was showing how performance wise, you know, you really want to challenge the weight on this exercise. maybe even having half your body weight in one hand. That was pretty impressive, right? So it's either a DECA opportunity here or certainly an opportunity to work on grip strength. Don't let them carry a weight to where their grip was not wearing out when they get back, right? Very important. Highlighted orange because it is the karaoke to sprint. I would prefer the side shuffle to the sprint with most of our people. It's just a little bit better for us because we already have enough falls with the side shuffle. So, but I'm highlighting that orange because just like they told you to consider it in the video, I'm telling you to consider what's best for your group right now. So consider side shuffle to sprint, good cardio station. The TRX alternating single leg squat to reverse crossover lunge. So you'll be dropping down and dropping that leg behind. You want to challenge the range of motion on that. Maybe they can get their butt all the way to the ground. Maybe as they do that reverse crossover, they can even touch their knee to the ground as well. I think it's range of motion, it's pace on that particular activity. Definitely range of motion though, because this is a good opportunity for strength training. It's not so much about in 45 seconds, how many can I get? It's, how many good ones did I get? The dumbbell deadlift shrugs, teaching good form on that. Anytime we're deadlifting, form becomes extremely important because you can either rehab or ruin, someone's back as a coach, right? So you want to make sure, especially if they're picking up the heavier weights, that they have good form to do it. The power band metabolic chest. That's that's something where I know they said use the power bands and have them over the arms. And I especially understand why they had them over the arms because in the chest fly, it probably works better than under the arms. But I might have them under the arms for the first two because what they did, and then I might have them just kind of flip it, right? Because what happens is you can be the coach that's there with the mitts and they're pressing out, like they're doing the double punch or whatever. And so then they get their 10 and then they're alternating, right? Like it's like a left, right, punch for 10. And then they want you to do 10 chest flies on this one. But I like to limit the amount of time that the bands spend on top of somebody's arms because I've seen people come to our places and wind up with bruises from the bands. And, I'm sure that creates some interesting side conversations at home. What are your coaches doing to you in that gym? You're all bruised up, right? Yeah, and he talked about the free hair removal. He said it was too expensive for him to invest in elsewhere, but he likes it. So whatever you want to promote that week could be a new benefit. But yeah, use the mitts for engagement. Really important right there. Then this one, let me shrink the text so you can see. It is the kettlebell complex. Of course, it's highlighted green because there's so much going on. It's a reverse lunge to a bent over row, to a clean, to a front squat, to an overhead press. And anytime that you have a lot of movements like that, well, you can eliminate what doesn't work for you and still get a lot of great work, right? So it doesn't have to be the press as they pointed out in the video, but your job, your purpose at that station is to teach the movements, right? You got to make sure that they're remembering everything that they have to do because it is a lot. And then you have the prone position to the long jump, laying on the floor. And then it's a good measurement of power. That may have been even something I could highlight in red because I know that Cindy's going to be talking about it and she's going to lay down next to somebody and challenge them to jump from her heels to her head as if they were Evel Knievel trying to jump Caesar's fountains. No, she just lies beside him, not really letting them jump over top of her. So I don't want anybody to make that mistake. But it is a measurement of power. You should be able to jump the distance of your body. And then that means that you have an appropriate amount of power in your body. So you can definitely give people that information. TRX row, face ball, Y raises, teach the movement, watch for the straight arms, right? Too often, they turn a little bit of a Y raise into a row Y or something, right? They row it in and then they stick their arms up. Yeah. Andy, I was going to ask you on this finisher, you have a song list for when it's hit the road jack, right? Or touch the floor jacks or something.
Well, I hit the road jack Ray Charles is good,
Yeah.
but there's
Were you doing
Other
something with the
times-
sprints too?
that running.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. What
What's
is that the name of the
Let's
song?
get it started in here. It
Oh.
starts out like we're running. Black
Okay.
Eyed Peas.
See, so this is again where we could use the Apple Music. And what if you had it set up as a playlist, call it Sprints and Jacks is the name of your playlist. And what if you had running, whatever the best, what is this, 20 seconds of this song is, and then the best 20 seconds of the other, and they were able to alternate back and forth. You just leveled up your finisher into more of a climatic event because you've, created music to go with it.
Don't forget for 4 minutes, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So then that way now it's changing with, it's synced up.
Yeah, then you don't.
I'm gonna hit start on my music and start on my clock at the same time and boom.
Start.
I know that
yeah.
I got 20 seconds and I know as it transitions, it's going back and forth, I don't have to be a DJ. Apple Music will take care of it for me. So something to consider, And technology ninja moves, right? I mean, yeah, thanks to some kid on YouTube one night. I was like thinking about how I could blend some music for the conference. And I was like, there's gotta be a way to edit these things. And there sure is. So more to come on that, but yeah, I think that's some good stuff. Any additions, comments, questions on that? Anybody?
Think
Thoughts?
so.
No?
Is there a certain time? I've tried to use that hit the road jack before. And I know that I'll get it, like I'll scrub, because everything's going on at once and I'll end up in the wrong spot. And there's certain spots where that's super slow song. Do you happen to know the timing where it's best? I guess I could listen to it if you don't know off the top of your
Not
head.
off the top of my head now.
Okay, all right.
Supposed to memorize this. I'm like,
That refrain is so familiar though.
Yeah.
I mean, people hear a lot.
yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah. And that's why, right? So I would say over the years, I've like, oh, okay, 9 seconds on this, 24 seconds on that or whatever. And it starts to land in my mind, but I'm sure that a lot of coaches would really appreciate these new technology ninja moves that we could do, right? Because then they won't have to memorize, right? We can just edit. Now, I will warn you, it's not just going to be on that playlist, but anytime that you go to play that song, once you've edited it in your Apple library, it's always going to start and end where you did that until you change it. So, yeah, so that's now in our playlist, that Mulan song is now 4 seconds long. I think it was originally created because some tracks that you'll download have like an intro that people don't want to listen to every time. And so they're like, oh, well, you can get rid of all that intro.
That is huge because there's so many good songs
Mhm.
that have that, they'll have some weird, like they'll even have talking at the beginning, or something, or, there's a Tom Petty song. I forget which one it is, but it's a good workout song. But then at the end, he spends like the last 10 seconds talking in it. So this is going to be a great move,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, like one that comes to mind for me, let's see if I go down to Travis's playlist or T-Dog or whatever we got. There's a song that I like, but I don't play often for folks because it has such a slow start. And here it is. Okay. So if that is not a normal song right now, but if you let that go for about, you let it go for, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, and it dials up and then it's like, it's really good. What I've used to tell people over the years is, well, wait for it. It's going to get better. Well, now you just eliminate those first 20 seconds of the slow music. And then that way it really could be a good warm-up song, So, yeah, something to consider. Good stuff.
That's such an awesome tip. That's going to be great because that's like on that finisher. I feel like a bumbling idiot because I'm like trying to back and forth to the two songs and then I'm in the wrong spot and,
Absolutely. Like even some people seem to be better with that skill set of like, adjusting the, whatever, their fingers are better on the sliders, whatever, maybe they're the piano players. I don't know, but
they don't have the old offensive lineman hands that have been tangled.
right. I always say my thumbs need a diet, right? Because yeah, really good. I'm gonna stop this recording. Let me see here.
That's model.